was built in 1924 and installed in 1925 in the theater in New York City called the Rivoli. It was meant to accompany silent movies, and then of course when the silent movies stopped, you know, the talkies came in the late 20s. Then these organs kind of became history, and they just used them for backgrounds or between the movies and so on. And a lot of them just got covered over in the chambers, and no one ever used them.
But through the efforts of the St. Louis Theatre Organ Society, this old Wurlitzer, after years of neglect, found new life in St. Louis's City Museum. The museum is housed in what once was the International Shoe Factory on 15th Street downtown. The organ's new home is in the Enchanted Caves, the multi-storied shaft where years ago shoes, and today kids, tumble down the spiraling chutes.
This particular installation is one of the most unique ones you'll ever find. Most of the time you're playing perhaps in a church, maybe in an auditorium or a theater where these were installed originally. So this was a very unique installation. When they first showed us the location they were going to let us put the console, I was rather hesitant to how it was going to work out, but the sound is fantastic in here. And it's got a lot of atmosphere, so it's certainly a lot of fun for the new organist to be able to play this here.
Bringing an 84-year-old organ, abandoned for decades, back to life is truly an act of love. Finding parts, repairing, reassembling, and tuning isn't easy, particularly without an instruction manual. And theater organs, which had to provide sound effects for the silent movies as well as music, have a few characteristics you won't find in your typical church organ.
I see snare drum. That means that somewhere around here there's a snare drum.
Yeah, the snare drums are castanets, everything are there. There's buttons that'll bring on other sound effects. You see there's pedals on the floor down there, and the 6 buttons on the left bring in noise makers like the cymbal or the bird whistle or the ooga horn. This is what we call a toy counter. It has all the sound effects that they used to use in the silent movies. This is obviously a cymbal. This is a small gong. And then you can see the whistle, and this is a train whistle. And then this is like a school bell or a gong. And this emulates horses' hoofs. And wood block, castanets, a triangle, and a snare drum, big field drum.
Now, and every one of these is actually activated by a stop on the organ.
Correct. Yeah, it's all done with keys or buttons on the organ itself, and all done pneumatically.
A theater organ is a very orchestral instrument, and that is that the voices you've got, the pipes you've got here, replicate the sounds of an orchestra. So I've got things like a clarinet, we've got something here, a saxophone. Some are better replicated than others. We have an oboe, orchestral oboe.
They're not quite regulated yet, but these are brass trumpets. They have a kind of a unique sound. This is a blower. It provides most of the air for the organ. It has a 7.5 horsepower motor. Here, I'll turn it on. It's pretty noisy. This is a clarinet pipe. It's made to sound like a clarinet. There's 61 of these. It plays 5 octaves, and this is what it sounds like.
It's music from a different time, a different world, when vibrating pipes, chiming gongs, and clapping wood entertained audiences as much as sophisticated digital effects do today. And now, after all these years, the many voices of this old Wurlitzer speak to new audiences.
The museum here is a better setting than a theater because it's going to be more exposed to young people. They'll see what it looks like, and they won't necessarily sit down in a concert setting to listen to it. You know, that kind of turns kids off these days. But if I can get something working and sounding great, to me it's a big thrill.